My name is Immanuel Hickman, and this is my courageous story. My story here at Courageous Church is one of the unlikely stories. I moved from Greenville, North Carolina. I played football there for 4 years, and the only specific instruction that I received was from my godmother. And she told me to make sure that I found a church home. And coincidentally, she was up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and she had found Courageous Church via Facebook. So I made her one promise, and I said, I promise you that I will go to this church and figure this thing out, not knowing that I was going to find a home. When I came into Courageous, the first thing that I was offered was some coffee. That was something that I never had experienced in my life, coffee and water. And from there on, I said, well, this place is different. And then after that, I followed up with hearing the word, and I was on fire, and then I connected into Courageous. Shortly after that, I was introduced to our pastors, Pastor Ben and Pastor Wendy. And at this moment, I was given a gift from God. Pastor Ben became my big brother. He became a mentor to me. He became a pastor in that time, and he trained me up in the area of security. I did not know anything about it, but the one thing that I did not know that I was signing up for was somebody who was going to lead my life. Pastor Ben, he poured into me. He poured in words of encouragement. He poured in thoughtful prayers. He poured in constructive criticism at times. He poured in structure. And from there on, that's when I started to see my life change. I actually started to find my purpose inside of ministry. As I started to serve even more, my parents are pastors, so that was something that I felt the weight of ministry all of my life, but I did not know that Courageous Church was going to be my lifeline. I went through some dark times as a collegiate athlete, some mental health struggles, and in that time, I found my community. And from that moment, I was called into ministry outside of these four walls. I was taught on how to serve the community with the means that I do have, with my time, my talent, my treasures, and also I was given the opportunity to lead others around me. I was able to learn how to lead other men, how to depend on other men, and also Courageous Church gave me an open platform to be vulnerable. Many times athletes go through a lot of things, a lot of mental agony, some depression times, some depressed times, being far away from home was something that I had to deal with. And the men inside of Courageous, they came in and they lifted me up. There were prayers that were sent that I never knew would come at the perfect time. There were calls that I have received in some of my darkest times, some of my loneliest times. And I do not think that I will find that in any other church than here. I believe that this house of God is a place where encountering God is so real. And one of the major important things that I would say that I hold dear to my heart that Courageous has taught me how to be is a father. I am a father of a newborn baby, my junior. And one thing that I did not know was that I was gonna need help when he was born. And at this ministry, I have been given some wisdom, some counsel on how to be a better dad, day in and day out. That is something that I hold very, very close to my heart. Also, in a time that I've been here, Pastor Benjamin reached out to me in a time where I did not know where life was going. And through one phone call and a prayer, it changed the trajectory of my life. Doors were open, finances were provided for me to be able to provide for my family. I was promoted on the football field. I was given more access, and I also was given some resources inside of this church. So I cannot thank you enough, Courageous Church, for being my home. It's what I know, and I do know that this is the place for me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.